Hi everybody! In this video, I'm going to be going through the notes for lesson 4.2, which is all about solving equations. In our previous lesson, we learned that we could check whether or not a number was a solution. But today what we're going to learn is how to find solutions instead of just checking if numbers are solutions or not. Here are the steps we're going to follow. Step number 1 is going to be to draw a line through the equal sign. Remember, that equal sign is kind of like a balance. The left and the right side are equal, and so we're going to draw a line to remind ourselves that that left side and that right side are equal. Then we're going to look at the numbers that are on the same side as the variable. So wherever you see the variable, the x or the y or the z, we're going to look at the numbers that are on that side, either the left or the right. And then we're going to undo the operation. So if you see a plus sign, to undo that, you're going to minus. And vice versa. If you see a minus, to undo that, you're going to plus. If you see a multiplication problem, to undo that, you're going to divide. And if you see a division problem, to undo that, you're going to multiply. The only other thing you need to know is that whatever you decide you need to do, you have to do the same thing to both sides of the equation in order to keep it balanced. So let's do some examples. For problem number 1, step number 1 is to draw a vertical line through the equal sign. Then I'm going to locate my x. In this case, my x is right over here on the left side. Next to the x, I see a plus 3. So in my brain, I'm going to think, what's the opposite of a plus 3? The opposite would be minus 3. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides of the equation. Then I'm going to draw a line to separate my steps. And on the left side, the plus 3 and the minus 3 cancel each other out. So all I have left is x. I'm just going to copy it down. On the right side, 9 minus 3 doesn't cancel. They're not the same number, but I can do that on my calculator. So 9 minus 3 would be 6. Keep in mind, we can always check our answers here. So we can always take the number that we got, which is our answer, that x has to be equal to 6, and we can always plug that number back into the original problem. So if I go back to this original problem up here, the x I think is correct is a 6. If I copy down the rest of the equation, I can then type in this side on my calculator, and I can see that 9 really does equal 9, so I must have gotten the right answer. Let's try that again. For problem 2, we're going to draw a vertical line through our equal sign. Now this time, the variable, the w, is on the right-hand side. So what I'm going to do is look at the number that's next to the w, which is a minus 3. The opposite of a minus 3 is plus 3. So I'm going to plus 3 on both sides of the equation to keep it balanced. On the left side, the 9 plus the 3 just gives me 12. And on the right side, the minus 3 and the plus 3 cancel. So all that I have left is the w. I'm just going to copy it down. Again, we could check this answer by just taking this number we got and plugging it into the original problem. The original problem said 9 equals, and then the w we think is correct is a 12. And then minus 3. If I type in the right side, I get that 9 equals 9. So that is the correct solution. For problem number 3, I'm going to start by drawing a vertical line through my equal sign. Now on the left-hand side, which is where I see my m, I can see that this 3 is right next door to it. There's no plus sign, there's no minus sign, it's just right next door. When that happens, the operation here is multiplication. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. Then I'm going to draw a line to separate my steps. On the left side, the 3's cancel, and all that's left is m. On the right side, 9 divided by 3 gives me 3, and that's my final answer. For problem number 4, I'm going to start by drawing a vertical line through my equal sign. I can see that in this problem, my x is on the right-hand side, and the number by the x is a 3, but it's got this little line in between. That little line means division. So I have to think to myself, what is the opposite of division? And the answer is multiplication. I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides. So if I cross out the 3's, all that's left on the right-hand side is the x. And on the left-hand side, 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. Now, sometimes we're going to have to deal with equations that have negative numbers. When there are negative numbers, it is really important to make sure we undo the operation, not the number. So we have to ask ourselves, is this plusing, minusing, multiplying, or dividing? Here's an example. In problem number 5, we're going to start by drawing a vertical line through our equal sign. Now in this case, our variable, the p, is on the left, and the number that's right next to that is a negative 3. But when there's a negative 3 right next to the p with no symbols in between, this is a multiplication problem. The opposite of multiplying is divide. So in order to get p by itself, I really need to divide by negative 3 here. When I do that, the negative 3 and the negative 3 cancel, and we get p. And on the right-hand side, the 9 divided by negative 3 makes negative 3. For problem number 6, I'm going to start by drawing a vertical line through my equal sign, and then I'm going to look for my variable. My variable is h, and the number that's on the same side as the h is this negative 3. Once again, when there's this little line here, that means division. So the opposite of division would be multiplying by negative 3. On the left-hand side, the 9 multiplied by negative 3 makes negative 27. And on the right-hand side, the negative 3 cancels the division, the negative 3. So all I have left is h, and I'm done. Last but not least, we're going to talk about what to do when there's more than one operation. So when there's more than one operation or number by the variable, what you have to do is start by undoing the number that is farthest away from the variable first. So you start far away and you work closer. Here are some examples. In problem number 6, we're going to start by drawing a vertical line through our equal sign. Now my variable here is an m, and I can see there's actually 2 numbers by the m. The first number that is by the m is the negative 3, and the second number is the minus 4. In terms of those 2 numbers, I'm going to start with the number that's farthest away from m. In this problem, the negative 3 is squished right up next to the m, and the minus 4 has a little bit of space. There's a minus in between. So the first thing I'm going to do is undo the minus 4. To undo a minus 4, I'm going to plus 4 on both sides of the equation. When I do that, the minus 4 and the plus 4 cancel, and I'm going to drop down the negative 3m. On the right side, 5 plus 4 is 9. Then I'm going to undo this negative 3. Now, once again, when the negative 3 is squished right up next to the m, that means multiply. So the opposite would be dividing by negative 3. On the left-hand side, the negative 3 cancels the negative 3, and we just get m. On the right-hand side, the 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. In problem number 7, I'm going to draw a vertical line through my equal sign. In this problem, the n, the variable, is on the right-hand side, and there are 2 numbers by the n. The first number is the minus 1, and the second number is the 2. Now you'll notice that n and the minus 1 are both together on the top of that fraction, and the 2 is on the bottom. So the number that's farthest away is the 2. That means I'm going to start by getting rid of the 2, and so I need to think how to undo this symbol. This line means divide, so I'm going to multiply by 2 to undo the division. When I do that, 6 multiplied by 2 is 12, and the 2 and the 2 cancel. So all I have left is n minus 1. Then I need to undo the minus 1, so I'm going to plus 1 on both sides, and I get 12 plus 1, which makes 13. On the right-hand side, the 1's cancel, and we just get n. In problem number 8, we're going to draw a vertical line through our equal sign. Again, we have two numbers by our variable. We have the 2/3 and we have the minus 7. The number that is farthest away is the minus 7. So the first thing I'm going to do is undo the minus by adding. I'm going to add 7 on both sides. The 7 cancels the 7, and we get 2/3 p, just drops down, equals negative 15 plus 7 gives me negative 8. Now I need to undo this 2/3. Now when the 2/3 is right next to the p like that, it means multiplication. So what I'm going to do is divide by 2/3 on both sides. Now again, you have a calculator, so don't be nervous when there's a fraction. You can just use your calculator to help you. On the left side, the 2/3 cancels the 2/3, and we just get p. On the right side, the negative 8 divided by 2/3 ends up giving you negative 12, and you're done. In problem number 9, we're going to start by drawing a vertical line through our equal sign. This time, there are actually 3 numbers by my variable. There's a 2, there's a minus 6, and there's a 5. When that happens, you follow the same rules. Start with the number that's farthest away from x. In this case, the 2 and the minus 6 are both on the top of that fraction by the x, but the 5 is downstairs, so it's farthest away. Remember, this symbol means divide, so to undo the division, I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. When I do that, on the left-hand side, the negative 4 times the 5 is negative 20. And on the right-hand side, the 5's cancel, so all I have left is 2x minus 6. Then again, I'm going to go from farthest to closest. So the next thing I'm going to do is plus 6 on both sides, which means on the left-hand side, negative 20 plus 6 is negative 14. And on the right-hand side, the 6's cancel, so we just get 2x. Last but not least, we're going to divide by 2 in order to get the x by itself. So the 2's cancel, and we just get x. And on the left-hand side, negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. And we're done. In problem number 10, we're going to start by drawing a vertical line through our equal sign. In this case, again, there are 3 numbers by the z. There's a 2, there's a divide by 5, and then there's this minus 6. The number that's farthest away is the minus 6. It's not even in the same fraction. So to undo the minus, we're going to plus 6 on both sides. The 6's cancel, and we get 2z divided by 5. I'm just going to copy that down. On the right-hand side, negative 4 plus 6 is 2. Then I'm going to undo the division. So I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. When I do that, the 5 cancels the 5, and I just get 2z. And on the right-hand side, 2 times 5 is 10. Last but not least, I'm going to divide by 2 because when that number is squished right up next to the z, it means multiplication. So the opposite is division. On the left-hand side, the 2's cancel, and I get z equals 10 divided by 2, which is 5. All right, last but not least in this whole video, let's draw a vertical line through our equal sign. I can see that again, there are a few different numbers by the g. If I zoom in really close here, you can see there's actually a negative by the g. Don't forget that that's an invisible -1. So we've got a -1, we've got a -6, and we've got a 5. We're going to start with the number that's farthest away, which is the 5. So we're going to multiply to undo the division. I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. And when I do that, on the left side, -4 times 5 is -20. And on the right side, the 5's cancel. Then I'm just going to bring down the -6 minus 1g. Now, of those two numbers, the one that's farthest away right now is the -6. So I'm going to undo the -6 by adding 6 on both sides. Again, you can use your calculator to help with all of this. So if you're having any trouble with your positives and negatives, just trust your calculator. -20 plus 6 is -14. And on the right-hand side, I'm just going to drop down the -1g. And last but not least, I'm going to divide by -1. When we divide by -1, we get -14 divided by -1, which is +14. And on the right-hand side, the -1's cancel, so we just get g. And we're done. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon for some practice.